The first point is that if you create loads and loads of different types of traction, you create loads of duplication. And the tradition within the industry for the last quarter of a century is then we treat the regions and nations like second-class citizens by giving London all bright, new, sexy trains or the intercity stock, and we cascade things that are 20 years old or heritage stock to those places, to those passengers, under the guise of new trains, and that has to stop. Now, the simplest way to stop that, in our view, would be let's have a green agenda. Let's electrify the lot, build one class of electric train, one class for electric freight loco, and then all you've got to do is vary the length of the trains to the needs of the service that you're delivering. Now, if we did that under publicly owned trains, we also take away the unique problem that we have with the Roscoes. The Roscoes made 1.2 billion, I believe, between 2012 and 2018. But they provided the service, they got paid for the service they provided. That's fine, that's what we chose to do as a nation. Right? But that money could have come back into our industry to fund our future trains. So one of the solutions that we put forward, we launched it in Holyrood not so long ago, was green bonds for ScotRail to buy their own trains in future. So you launch green bonds. I think you've heard from Eurofirma have given you evidence, a similar sort of model, that the government can issue bonds. Bonds are popular as gilts with pension funds and other investors. You buy your own trains, you own your own trains. You don't find yourself then in that really silly situation whereby something that's 24 years old, that you're now paying more for it on a leasing process than you did in the first year it was made. That can't be right. If you leased a car on that basis, no one would ever lease a car, would they? For example, my colleague referred to it as the 701 series. We're involved in the build of that from the start. The driver's cab's wonderful, the passenger experience is wonderful, and then somebody decided to change it and move the driver's cab 15 inches forward, decided sight lines, made the ergonomics not work, and then put new software in that, then held up the production line, had an impact on United members and whatever, and many of them be sitting in the sidings for months and months. We're now working to find solutions to those issues with them, but that's retrospective. If we'd been involved at the start, as we were with the original 701s, that wouldn't have happened. You know, and when people plan new railway yards and new things, I think the people actually going to use them have a great insight on what works and what doesn't work occasionally. It gets us away from the silo mentality, and quite obviously, I'm trying not to sound hypercritical here, so bear with me. The way the railway's been run for the last 2 decades or more, people only had to do what was in the contracts. They would do whatever they could to facilitate the contract they were in. Whereas if you have a more global strategy, you're looking at the needs of all the stakeholders within it and the people that use the railway itself, which should be key to anything you do, from accessibility to all the other things that we need to do. So I think if you have that more global opportunity, you're not looking at what you're seeking to deliver in just one part of the country or in one company. You're seeking to do it for the whole railway itself. And also that how it helps you devolve best practice as well.